are you talking so softly?
Because Gwen's still asleep.
Is she off work this week?
Yeah, she's on spring break.
Well, I thought she was on spring break last week.
No. That's why we got to go to Galveston.
Good morning, everyone.
Of course, Valerie's the loud one.
Of course I am. I gave myself a headache.
Chick picker.
You're not feeling 100% this morning, Chick Picker.
It's Valerie, otherwise known as Chick Picker. We're running late this morning. Too much partying, I guess.
Too much.
Too much of something. Too many dogs getting up in the middle of the night. Ringo was cray-cray last night. Like every 5 minutes, he was up barking at something. I don't know.
Oh, Chicky Picker.
So I didn't get much sleep last night, and it was rough.
Well, you didn't have to have the show. You could have slept.
I don't do that.
Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. I just
Just-
didn't get much sleep last night.
Oh,
The dogs were up. Ringo was up last night.
I'm gonna have to tell that little feller you better settle down, or he's gonna have to go out of the room.
It felt like every time he got comfortable, or I got comfortable, every time I fell asleep, he woke up barking. It was
At what?
I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Mm.
Probably a mouse farting. I don't know. Of course, I don't have mice in here, but yeah, it was. And of course, when he did it, Elvis was up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the problem was, but none of us got very much sleep last night.
So they're probably taking their nap right now,
Oh yeah, they're all like sprawled out and sleeping like nothing.
huh? Yeah.
Well, every once in a while, just throw a pan across the room. Wake them up.
It was a rough night.
Yeah.
What time did he leave?
What?
What time did he leave? You said
Would
you had a
you-
rough night last night.
Would you hush?
That sounds like that sounds like she had some beau over there last night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure my facial expressions would be a little bit different.
Yeah.
You'd
like
just be happy as hell this morning, wouldn't
A
you?
permanent smile from ear to ear.
Like I would have said, okay, who is he?
What's his name? Where does he live?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. No.
I have sister intuition. For sure.
See what everybody's on vacation this week.
It's funny that you mentioned that, Sally, because I was talking to some stupid dude yesterday. He was stupid. Stupid.
Yeah.
So,
And then did he show you pictures of this naughty place?
no, he didn't. But
Oh, thank goodness.
I did not give him a chance to do so.
Oh,
'Cause
he was
once-
headed that way though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Why do you guys think we want to see that?
I don't know.
Sheesh.
It's
See
not
what?
sexy. They're boy parts.
Oh, the boy parts.
Like I've seen so much stuff in my life that I don't ever want, like, work in the
No.
nursing field. That I mean, maybe they need to work in the nursing field and they'll see. Oh my God. There's vaginas all over the place, but they're not like sexy vaginas.
Oh, Lord. So,
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Hi, Shirley.
Monday morning, yeah.
did you see the little thing I posted, the meme I posted on Facebook about the making alternative face masks for the virus? People are taking their, this woman took a bra and cut the cups out of it.
Oh,
made
yeah. Yeah.
And then there was this,
That's not a bad idea.
there was a large lady, large lady.
Yes, yes.
It covered her, and then she put them on her kids' faces, and it just covered their whole face.
Oh my God, only Tom.
Are y'all having toilet paper problems up there?
No, not at all.
No, but you know what? They canceled the Houston rodeo. Now that is
Mm.
big
Yeah. Well,
because they have stars come in like Reba McEntire to sing, and they have a rodeo. They have a stock show. That's big.
They've
When they
canceled a
do
couple of
that.
things around
Guess what
here
the-
that are like real big too because of it.
Guess what the news story was that popped up on my phone right as I woke up today?
What?
That Tom Hanks and his wife have it.
Yeah, I
Oh,
heard
yeah,
that
yeah.
last night. Now, mind you, this is not, if you're a healthy person and you have a relatively healthy lifestyle and you do what you're supposed to do because you get sick, it doesn't mean you're going to die.
No.
You got to now people that are sickly and all that kind of stuff, then there's concerns for that. But just do like you're supposed to do,
Mm-hmm.
and you should be okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not a medical professional, so I'm just speaking off of the top of my head, but that's just what I've heard on the news. And
Maybe we're not supposed to do that.
do what?
Wash our hands.
I don't know.
I think the media is using it for just something to sell damn newspapers and advertising.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a distraction. Like they're taking you away from, which for some people may be a good thing. For some people it may be a bad thing, but it's almost like a distraction from like the campaign.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It's just,
Bernie and Joe, they've canceled a bunch of stuff because of it.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff canceled around here, concerts, and I don't know.
And
I don't understand.
Tom
this
is
con-
showing you how not to touch your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just did mine about 4 times just now. But they've canceled international flights to Europe.
Wow.
I mean, this is gonna get pricey.
It's kind of scary, when you're seeing that, because it's like, because they said it was a global pandemic, and all that. That's scary when you start thinking. Yesterday I was seeing that and I was like, man, this could really turn out like really bad.
But this is just how the bird flu, the H1N1 and all of
Right.
that started
Right.
too.
Right.
So who knows? Who knows if it'll turn out to be something or not?
No, in some countries, yeah, this is really big. But then again, in some countries, a tooth infection will kill people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to make light of it. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
we have a certain type of healthcare system over here, even though it's expensive. like I said, it's something we have to watch out for, but believe that we have just we've got to not let it get too carried away.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, y'all are medical professionals. I'm not. I asked Vanya if they had any procedure, because he works in a lab for the hospital system. If they had any procedures come down, discussions about it, and he said no.
Yeah.
And of course, Roberta's like, you make sure you wear a mask and you wear gloves and don't touch your face and wash your hands a lot and all that kind of mess. But we had our eighth confirmed case of corona.
Yeah.
I just need a case of Corona.
And a half dozen
wondering.
limes.
I was wondering, if they put that, because it is also spring break, so I wonder if they connected the two, Corona beer to coronavirus. I don't know. Wonder if there's a connection there.
Wow, Fish and Pickens says I had to pick up my nephew from UVA Saturday. They canceled school for the semester. The high school in my town has closed and no prom or graduation.
Isn't that is just nuts. That's just crazy.
I can't see him.
Crazy.
I can't see him closing prom here.
They're closing. You see, that's a lot of money right there.
Mm-hmm.
For small business, the tux rental places and stuff like that. I know of one of our universities, Western Carolina. They have extended spring break another week, because they're trying to get things set up so they can do online classes, like through Zoom and whatnot, because they specifically named like 3 different systems they have available, and Zoom is one of them. But they're looking into that. UNC Chapel Hill, they're part of the same state university system, so I guess they're looking into it too.
I don't know. It's just crazy.
I'm just hoping it's going to turn out okay, and
it is.
it's it's going to be like hearing about the bird flu.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think it's, well, first of all, I think it's been around a long time, and it's just not really hit the news, because we have a little old lady that's up in Raleigh who has had no contact. She's in assisted living. She has had no contact with any other outsiders other than her staff, the staff at the assisted living, and she's got it. So where the hell did she get it from?
From the staff. She got it from the staff.
Yeah, well, they've tracked the staff to find out where she, to see who's been around, anybody that's traveled and stuff like that. They haven't found a connection to it yet. So I'm wondering if it just gets in your system and it stays there. I mean, it doesn't. What do you call it?
Mutate.
No, not mutate. When it becomes dormant, it's there, but it's just kind of like in a dormant state.
Well, I mean that could be a possibility. You could have carriers.
Yeah.
That aren't affected by it, but they're still carrying it, and and spreading it, which I can see there being a definite epidemic as far as that goes. I don't know.
Fisher Pickens says, and dude, what is your name? The NBA suspended the rest of the games for the year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's big
big
bucks
money.
there.
That's big money.
Big money.
I don't know.
And I can understand them canceling it because if people are scared to be in groups, they plan a game, they have all the expenses of setting up for the game, and then nobody show up, or not very many people show up. Maybe it's best just to cancel it and call it,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
Alan. Yeah. Mike
Alan.
said. Mike says corona means crown. I think the virus looks like it has little crown spikes all over it.
Yeah. Fish and pick. It's Alan.
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
I had Brandon go over to the neighbors yesterday to see if he can get some butter, and he used it all, but I got cookies.
Cookies or cookies? Wink, wink, cookies.
Cookies, wink, wink, cookies.
Okay.
The good kind.
I had a very relaxing night last night.
Oh, I'm glad somebody did.
Sorry.
I went to bed about 11, I guess, but I laid there and looked at my pad until after I heard Vanya come home, and then I went to bed.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that.
That's
It's
all
all
right. God, my face looks red today. I gotta mess with my camera, so.
It's gonna be a rough morning. But it has good sales.
You
Good.
did.
I did have good sales.
Good.
I got 6 going out.
Good job.
Sold a pair of shoes for $75.
Which shoes?
My Allen Edmonds.
Oh, cool.
I've had
Good
'em for a
job.
while, so.
Are they regular shoes or are they hooker shoes?
Allen Edmonds is men's shoes.
Oh, are they? Well, that don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing.
It may not mean something to you, but it means $75 in
Oh
my
yeah,
pocket.
yeah. I know.
That means a lot to me. But yeah, I had some good sales.
Good.
I was happy. Got some good listing up. Worked hard yesterday getting some stuff up, so. Oh my gosh, Sally. Really?
Yeah.
So did
Oh,
you fix it?
no.
He won't let you do anything?
I tried. It won't stay in.
Is it that big? Or is it?
It's like it spreads apart. Like whenever he does stuff, like spreads his legs or whatever, it spreads apart. And so like it won't stay in.
Well, aren't you supposed to pack it enough where?
I can't do that.
Well, what you do is you just go. I'm assuming you're talking about putting some kind of packing into the incision.
Yeah, God.
Pack it and then get some damn duct tape.
Well,
So I
Now,
told
mind you, he's going to be screaming like crazy when you start pulling that duct tape loose. But
yeah, we ain't doing that. What I told him, because I'm gonna have him call today to make sure it's gonna be okay, but I'm pretty sure if we just kind of like stretch it open a little bit as long as it has a way to get the drainage has a way to get out,
mhm.
then it should be okay. Because it's supposed to be like sealed by the end of the week, maybe a week and a half at the most. So that's what the doctor told me anyways. So, but when Brandon they were trying to, do that at the office, he was like at the point of passing out.
Yeah.
And so he, the doctor didn't put that much in. I seen how much he put in and he didn't put that much in.
Huh.
So, yeah, it's not staying. So whenever I did get a piece in, but as soon as he stood up, it fell out. So I, yeah, I know, Mike. So
Couldn't
I
you
don't
just
know what
put
else to do.
just put a dressing on it? Just put a dressing over the site itself, so if
That
it
ain't,
does,
I mean, he's got gauze that
okay.
sticks right there. So yeah, but it's not, that's not how it's supposed to be.
Well, I
Is
know,
there
but
any incision? I mean, stitches or anything like that?
no,
Mm-mm.
it's not stitched. It's an open wound.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I even have some of that spray that you can use on surgery sites and stuff like that. It's like a freezing numb spray.
Uh-huh.
And he said that part of it wasn't hurting. Like it would just hurt whenever I would try to put stuff in.
Hmm.
But I don't know.
Is there any kind of like foam stuff that you could use? Spray it in there and it expands. I mean, I know you don't want it to expand, but I'm talking about to fill it up. You get
No.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it's the only way that would work is if it was like dry material.
Right.
Like, yeah, there's nothing like that. Yes, it has to heal from the inside out, but it's tunneled.
Yeah.
So like he has probably that much tunneling. And if you know anything about that, like, like the reason why, it was an infection anyways is because it was closed. So I figure that's why if I keep that spot open, just maybe once or twice a day, just try to like open it up and make sure that, it has a way to release.
Yeah.
Oh, her grandbaby's on the way. Good luck, Julie. Hope everything goes good.
Congratulations in advance.
Congratulations. Are you gonna be a Nana or a Mimi or a Nana
Or me,
or a
Meemaw.
Gigi?
I think she should
Lots
be a
of
Meemaw.
lots of different names out there.
Mama.
It doesn't matter what you want to be. That has no, it doesn't matter.
Well, do you have a preference?
Well, yeah.
But
I did have two different grandma names.
Yeah.
I'm a Mimi to one set of grandkids and a Nana to the other set of grandkids. So, yeah, I wanted to be Mima is what I wanted to be. But yeah, I don't get to choose.
Well, you be in Texas, you'll be soon, so you'd be perfect Meemaw. That's Sheldon's
Yeah,
grandmother.
but it don't matter. It don't matter because they don't call me that anyway.
Oh, she
See,
says she's been a nanny for 10 years already.
Oh, there you go.
My grandmothers were Grandma Hooks and Grandma Woodbury.
Right.
I mean, that's what they were. Now, when they were separate, like if we were one of or the other's home, then it was just grandma.
Right.
And if we were having a family get together where everybody was together, then it'd be Grandma Woodbury. I need you to do such. And then in my older years, when we really irritated my grandmother Woodbury, who was my mom's mom, we'd call her Lizzie, and just to make her mad, because her name was Geneva Elizabeth.
That's pretty.
Woodbury. And we'd call her Lizzie, and she didn't like Lizzie because she had an aunt or somebody that she detested, and they called her Lizzie. So my cousin Teresa and I, we just used it to irritate her. I'm gonna beat y'all behind. Grandma, you have a hard problem picking up your tab can.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, it took me a while to figure that out that they, you know, they give me the name. It's not what I want to be called. So,
Our grandmas were just grandma and then whatever their last name was.
Yeah.
yep. Grandma
Um,
Daniel, Grandma Dennis.
my mom is grandma to my oldest niece, Diana, and to the rest of the kids, she's Grams. And my father is Papa to my oldest niece. And then to the rest of the kids, including mine, he's Pop.
Pop. Yeah.
When by the time I get some, they're gonna say they're gonna be calling me, "Hey, oh, you old son of a bitch! You cantankerous old man."
Uh-huh. The first thing, I would, when I'm a great grandmother, which I don't know if I'll ever see the day, but I'm sure I will. But so my daughter's great grandma was called. They called her Great One,
Great one.
and that's what I want to be called. So.
No, you look more like a Gigi, great grandma. Because that's what a friend of mine's kid calls his great grandmother, is Gigi.
Mhm. Yep. So I don't know. There again, you can, you get whatever name they give
Yeah.
you. So
Mm-hmm.
if they call you, I guess if they call you old Biddy, then that's what you got to answer to, I suppose.
There's a channel that's called, it's a Southern thing or something of that sort. And they
Bless you.
Let
they
it
talk
go.
about different things from the South, the weather and whatnot. And there's one part where this woman's expecting her first grandchild, and she's trying to. She's going to get her grandma name, and she's going to the jewelry store to get her grandma name because whatever it is, she'll have it in like a necklace, a charm or
Bless you.
something. Excuse me. And this one mother comes in and she says, "I need to change my name." Or this grandmother comes and she says, "I need to change my name." And the grandmother that the show is featuring it, she's like, why dear? And she said, because he can't say it. So like you said, if they your name is based on what they can say when they're little. Who is that? Is that your dad?
No.
Oh, that's Charlie Pride.
Oh my gosh.
I have this old book. It's the best of country music, Nashville at Night.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think it's from like the 70s or something. I shouldn't say it's old. 'Cause I'm from like the 70s or something.
Morning, Texas pal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Texas
think
Tigress, are you talking about the video I was just talking about the names? Got it.
Dolly Parton. Kenny
Kenny
Rogers.
Rogers.
Yep.
it has their fan club addresses in this.
Huh. That's kind of cool.
We have a friend, and she started. She was a Star Trek person, and of course, that's how Roberta and I met. She would go to all these big conventions and Trek cruises and stuff like that. And one of the actors didn't have a fan club, and she started his fan club. And she said, that is a lot of work. Now, this was the day before when you just basically had email,
Mhm.
and So she would do newsletters and, email them to everybody and all that kind of stuff. But she said that was a lot of work. She enjoyed it because she was in the know.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got copies of memos from his agent, about where he was going to be at and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
so she liked it, but she said it was a lot of work.
I can
Yeah,
imagine.
That Southern thing has a lot of good videos. And if you're from the South, you just identify with them. Bless your heart. Which has 2 meanings. It means bless your heart. I hope you feel better. And God, you are such a dumbass. Yeah, you're such a dumbass. You're stupid.
Who's the dumbass?
I mean, where I was saying bless your heart. I said that has 2 meanings. It means, bless your heart. I hope you feel better. That kind of thing. And the other one is bless your heart.
Because you're a dumbass.
You're such a dumbass. You're stupid. So Todd, how'd you like Galveston? Did y'all go lay out on the beach?
It's like paradise. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we got these vintage lawn chairs made out of aluminum and haul them down to the beach and watch all the college kids get drunk. And
Did you see a lot of that?
we saw a bunch of college kids. Well, I don't think we ever saw any slap dab drunk ones, but it wasn't very crowded, really.
Yeah.
I expect a lot of the spring breaks are next week instead of this week. So, in fact, I think places like Galveston probably pay colleges so that they will space out their spring breaks and not have them the same time as each other.
That's probably
But
true.
yeah, we ate good and we walked on the beach and we actually got some video of the port where we're going to disembark or embark or whatever you call it. Not much to see. It's just a big, long building on the edge of the water.
Yeah.
And so I'll make a video on that sometime.
Cool.
And what else did we do? We had to go by Tanger Outlets. You know what Tanger Outlets are?
Oh yeah.
No.
Had to go by Tanger Outlets. Got me a pair of new sneakers. And it's an outlet mall.
Okay.
Just a great big strip mall.
Yeah.
And everything is discounted. So.
Yep.
Tina hasn't taken you to the mall here when you come to visit. Tina is the one that's in Charlotte.
Yeah.
She hasn't taken you to the Tanger Mall. That's sad.
So.
It's on the other side of the city. You can get on 485 and just loop around the city and get off.
Probably no, she hasn't. I'm not much of a mall person though.
Oh well, it's like a big strip center, is what
I know,
it is.
but I'm just not. I'm not into that.
We went on the Dolphin Bay boat ride.
Cool.
Watch the dolphins frolic in the Galveston Bay and.
Galveston, oh, Galveston.
That sounds like fun. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, we didn't do the jet boat ride. We should have done that too, but we just we just ate. We don't want to get on there and
puke.
Yeah. Seemed like we didn't do a lot of stuff because we just ate. We ate so much.
That's part of being on vacation now.
We may have had an adult beverage or two.
Good for you.
And it's just.
I'm gonna have to have that experience again with the rum margarita.
Yeah.
One of these days. Best drink I ever. Well, I can't say it's the best drink I ever had, but it was a very good I never would have put the two together. And it was, yeah, it was really good.
Hmm.
So,
So yeah, if you get the chance, I mean, if you're going on a cruise anyway, try to go a day or two early and just
Yeah, that's what I
do
was telling
do
Brandon.
some Galveston. It's a fun island. You can rent those 4-wheeled bicycles where two
Yep.
people pedal, you know, and you can,
Mm-hmm.
there's all sorts of stuff to do. You can rent a surfboard and actually get out there and try it. Not me. You can fish. There's all kinds of fishing opportunities.
I'm sure.
There's bird watching. There's a state park. You can go watch birds. We got
Valerie
to
and
the
Valerie will
beach.
be out there surfing. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Right
I'll end
across
up
the
with-
street from the beach, we got some McDonald's French fries. So then we started feeding the gulls with French fries, and they
Oh
were,
gosh.
that was a mistake
Yeah.
because they swarmed us.
Mm,
And the nasty things flying around, they just poop in midair and it all lands on you. And
Yep.
Then you had to go shopping to get you some shirt without poop on it.
yeah. So, and then I still haven't vacuumed all the sand out of the car yet.
Oh, you'll have sand for 10 years
Yeah.
from now.
Cause
How long
there's
does it take you to drive to Galveston from where you live at, Todd?
about 3 hours.
Okay.
And there's one beach that is so uncrowded. It's called Jamaica Beach. You drive away from the Galveston beaches
Uh-huh.
and there's no charge, and you just drive in there and you park right on the beach. Your car's like
Right on the sand.
50 feet from the water.
Perfect.
And yeah,
That's a good place for
people are
naked.
flying kites and and people are actually swimming this week. And I was like, are you crazy? Because it was like 72 degrees with the breeze.
Yeah.
that
And
sounds nice.
Oh,
And
I bet that
75
water was
here.
so nice and warm.
Gulf water's pretty warm.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't blame them. I'd be out there swimming too.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a few guys surfing. They paddled their
Yeah.
boats, their surfboards out there. And
I use my
I-
body as a
I
surfboard.
can't imagine. I don't know why, but I can't imagine that they would get that big of, like, there'd be that much of a surf out there, like that much of a.
it was actually the largest I've ever seen it there.
Oh, really?
And we've been 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. Huh.
I mean, that many waves?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, just the height of there's always waves, but usually they're small.
Yeah. Like,
But
you know what I mean? Like, not big enough to even really to really
Right.
even take your time to go out there and catch a wave type of thing, you know? It'd be just almost like a waste of time. So, but that's good.
The only surfing I did as a kid was getting behind the boat and you change the tilt so it was the boat was just basically plowing, and it would create a big wake, and then you'd start off with a ski rope, and then once you got up on the crest of the wake, you'd drop the ski rope. See how long you could stay up on the crest.
Yep.
I mean, that was it.
Yeah. I mean, that was how I grew up going out there, and we didn't have, you know, money for. We didn't even half the time we didn't even have boogie boards. We just went out there and swam in the waves. And like I said, it was cold water, but you just go out there long enough where your body numbs up.
Yeah.
And then you don't feel it. So
People, that water is cold.
ain't no doubt about it.
I was on Catalina Island in August,
Hmm.
and that water was ice freaking cold.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's cold when you get in there.
Texas Val It was really clean. I remember going down to the Gulf back in the day, and tar would wash up on the shore from all the oil exploration. And
Oh, wow.
we didn't see any of that. Of course, rules have changed about
Right.
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, that's one of the cool things about cruising in the Caribbean or the Gulf of Mexico. Is it at night you can see oil rigs off at a distance because they're lit up. It's pretty cool. And if you
You can
got
see what?
oil rigs,
Earl
Oil-
Rig.
Earl
Oil-
rigs,
Oh, okay.
you know, the
Oil
the
rigs?
platforms.
Yeah,
Like-
they're
Oil
on,
rigs.
they're on platforms out
Yeah.
in the ocean, in the middle of the
Oh,
ocean.
Yeah, they're out in the middle of the ocean
ah,
or the Gulf, actually.
Yeah.
There were 4 or 5 of those big oil rigs just parked in the harbor.
Really?
They weren't doing anything.
Huh.
Yeah, the guy said,
They're building them mobile now, so they just have big like tanks on them that they can flood, and it sinks to the bottom, and then I'm sure they have other ways of stationary, keeping them stationary.
Hmm.
But
yeah, I mean, if the price isn't high enough for oil exploration, they just park them. And I can't imagine how much it would cost to just park an oil rig in a port.
Yeah.
well, if it's pumped any oil, it's made or crude, it's made its way back. I paid $1.87 yesterday for gas.
Wow.
Now that was
Yeah,
at Sam's, but everybody else was saying it was like, $1.99, that type of stuff around here.
yeah, I hear it's about 220.
We paid $1.82 in Galveston.
Nice.
It's cheap, man.
That's
I don't
because the
even-
Saudis are having a price war with everybody else right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
I
part of
don't
the
even-
reason the stock market's been crashing.
I remember in 1994, it was 99 cents in California.
Really?
I remember the days when I could put $2 worth of gas in my Jeep and I could drive a week off of it.
I remember that year that we were supposed to go to Grandma and Grandpa Daniel's house for Christmas, and we were in Strathmore, and Dad left the brake off or whatever, and we had a crash
Yeah.
at the store.
Yeah.
I remember it was 49 cents a gallon then. At that store.
I don't
Yeah.
remember. You were just a little kid.
I know. But I remember we crashed where that sign was at.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So that sign sticks in my head.
Yeah. Not literally.
No, not, but it's in there.
Hmm.
I remember for when $10 you could take a girl out to a movie and take her out for pizza afterwards. God, I sound like my grandfather. Well, I don't never
Right?
mean my grandfather. Sound like my dad.
Mm-hmm.
We paid 5 cents for a daggum Coca-Cola. Excuse me, a Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
A Coca-Cola.
A cola. Mhm. Man, you just need to write a book of your language.
That was
No
just,
doubt.
that's what they always said. It's a Coca-Cola.
Probably
Mm,
needs a translator.
mhm.
Yeah.
If you ask the waitress for a Coke here, they say, "What kind do you want?"
Yep.
I want a Coke. It's like
Ex-
saying pop.
Yep.
And they say, "What kind do you want?" "Well, I want a Sprite." "Okay."
Yep.
So you have to
That's-
designate what kind of Coke you want.
That's how it was in California too.
Yep.
Here it's pop.
Yeah.
Is it?
Here, yeah, it's pretty much pop here.
Texas
Soda.
Val,
Soda.
it sounds like Sally should start it off by going, picture this. Northern California, 1994. You know, that's how Sophia was like, picture this. You know, from Golden Girls.
Mm-hmm.
I love Sophia.
Too.
Picture this. 1934.
So yeah, at one restaurant we went to, we just got appetizers. We got about 6 different kinds of appetizers.
Nice.
That was
I saw
because it
that.
was happy hour. They were cheap, so we just said, let's get them all.
Yeah, I mean sometimes that's the best way to go. That
Yeah,
way
I
it
ate
feeds
so
both of
much.
you, and you can have, different types of foods, and yeah, I'm glad you guys had a fun time.
Yeah, that's cool.
A lot of restaurants now have started doing like a sampler platter,
Yep.
you know, with all the different. And I'll say I want one of those as my main meal. That's
Yep.
my, my entree,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I just don't want to eat a big piece of chicken or a big piece of beef.
Yeah.
Give me
Shoot, the
some-
other day we went to that restaurant and they had it was a triple decker BLT.
Hmm.
And I had avocado on it, and of course, so good. But I couldn't. Those sandwiches were this big, and I was like, "There's no way I could fit that in my mouth," and I can't even eat it like that. Like taking parts off of it. So I took it apart, and I made 3 sandwiches out of it.
Hmm.
And then put the avocado in my different places. I had that day, or one of the sandwiches that day, and then the rest of it the next day. It was $11 for that and fries.
Mike says, "Oh my God, the stock market is down over 2,000 points."
Yeah, it's been down for 3 weeks and just keeps
Bad.
going down.
Shirley
It's a-
says, "I remember from my first job, 50 cents an hour. Tips were a quarter tops."
Yeah. Well, in 1995, I worked in Washington State at a nursing home, and I only got $6.50 an hour. And that was a hard job.
$6.50 an hour. I remember when you got paid $2.25 an hour.
Yeah.
My
Oh
first
my
full-time
God.
job started at $2 an hour,
Wow.
building forklift pallets.
Jeez.
Mhm.
I don't remember what I was paid at Burger King,
Uh-uh.
but it had to have been pretty dang close to that. So like 6 or 7.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My first wife and I, after we got married, we went and looked at a 1977 Chevy Monte Carlo. It was brand new. It had everything on it, and it was
Nice.
$8,000.
And at that
8,000.
time, $8,000 was like, wow. How
Well, my
can they
parents
charge so
bought-
much?
Bought their when we moved from Charleston to Rock Hill, they bought a house, and it was like $27,000, and it was probably getting close to 3,000 square feet.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
I bought my brand new 1982 pickup, full-size pickup for $4,000. Wasn't a fancy one, but it was a pickup, 6-cylinder Chevy pickup.
I had a 86 Chevy sidestep. And I was so stupid. I traded that thing in for a piece of junk, probably. I wish I had that truck back.
Was
'Cause
that before or after you moved to Michigan?
that was in California a
Oh.
long time ago. Yeah, when the kids were babies.
Dang, Shirley, how old are you? 105?
You never ask a lady that.
Well, she said her first new car was $1,700
Well,
and her first
Here.
job was 50 cents.
I'll slap them up virtually for you, Tom, or Shirley.
So yeah, I got a job at the Big Texan Steak Ranch in Amarillo, Texas when I was in college. And they paid us $1.10 an hour.
wow.
And so you were supposed to make up the rest of minimum wage with your tips,
Hmm.
which we did, but yeah. $1.10 an hour, and they justified paying us less because we shared we got tips.
A buddy of mine grew up in a little town in Tennessee, and every teenager in town worked for the same. They didn't have any like Burger Kings or anything like that. They had like local hamburger joints.
Yeah.
Every teenager in town worked for the same burger joint, and they would, if there was something going on at school, they were closed. Like prom night, they were closed because they didn't have anybody to work.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you go into a fast food joint, and there's more. There's more adults working in than there are kids.
Yeah.
Mhm. For sure.
Yes,
Shirley, you didn't have to
win.
declare that.
Huh?
Shirley said, "I win. I'm the oldest, 77." Mike said in 1985, I was a high roller at $5 an hour cash,
Man.
but I was 14. My brother, we have fish camps around here, and it's fried everything, fish, shrimp, all that kind of stuff, French fries, baked potato. And my younger brother was like 12, and he was a busboy at one of them, because a friend of my mom's was a waitress there, and she said, "Terry, why don't you come work Friday nights, be my busboy?" So he got paid $1 an hour, and she gave him a third of her tips,
Hmm.
and he thought he was rich.
He was a high roller then, huh?
Yeah, boy, he had money. And you know what? My kids, they've always, I posted this thing, and other people have seen it too. It says children are like your broke ass best friend or something like that. When they were relying on me for all their cash flow, it was like, can I have such and such? Can I have such and such?
Mm-hmm.
I can stop to get gas and say, since they've got their jobs, I'll stop and get gas, and I'll say, why don't you go in and go get me a Diet Coke?
Mm-hmm.
You got some cash? You just got paid. It's only $2. I'm not spending it. They are tight. Especially Vanya, since he's saving up for his car.
Yeah.
He's like, his girlfriend probably, geez, they're probably eating at the cheap places. Let's get a hamburger. Let's get a Big Mac and cut it in half and a large order of fries.
Yep. Yep.
Because he's wanting something like a Toyota Corolla, and he wants to pay cash for it, and he don't want it to be a 20-year-old one. So he's saving a lot of money.
Yeah. That's good though.
Yeah. But they're all three tight.
Well.
We asked them if they wanted to go on a cruise in October. And basically out of all their mouths was, it was
Are
either
you-
who's paying or are you paying?
Mhm. We'll go if you're paying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, mom
my
might let the girlfriend go, so you know, he should have his car by then too. So
Yeah. Laughing Picker says, 1984, I was 18 with a union job. I made $8.65. I was Mr. Moneybags.
Tell you.
And his friends were making $3.35. Oh, yeah, I bet you, all the girls were after you because you were making the money.
Mhm.
Making the money. I know. Fishing and Picking says, I was at McDonald's in Northern Virginia. They had a sign with starting pay at $15.55 an hour, with a $25 bonus for every 6 customer survey you got. I was like, dang, these kids make bank.
dang, Mike, you didn't get a job there. I mean, Alan, you didn't get a job there.
I know, crazy.
I mean, 15.55 an hour. Hell, I'd have called up all my friends and said, "You got to come to this McDonald's and eat, and then you got to fill out this daggum survey."
Yep. Yep. Round up all your friends.
Well, our Chick-fil-A here starts kids off at $12.50 an hour, and
Well,
they have apparently this one that's not too far away from us. They have like a huge waiting list of kids wanting jobs there.
Hi, Julie.
I was a lot
Morning,
thinner with more
Julie.
hair then. Me too, Laughing Picker.
Aren't we all? A lot thinner and more hair. Yep. Aren't we all?
Good
Those
morning,
were the
Julie.
days.
I have about as much hair as I did when I was young. It's just not on the top of my head anymore. It's everywhere else.
I showed that picture of you and Gwen to Roberta, and she said, "He looks like Mr. Guest." And I said, "He does look like Mr. Guest." And I said, "When you see a full shot of him, he really looks like Mr. Guest." Mr. Guest was one of he was the head of the high school at the private school the boys went to.
Mm.
He's got the same beard, same color of hair and beard. You know, he's gray too.
Must be a handsome devil.
he
Must be, right?
he had about as much hair on top of his head as you do. God, what's wrong with me?
Are y'all coffee and sniffly and
Sounds like
all our
Laurie got
trees are
a
starting to
snoot
put
full
out.
of allergy too.
Yeah.
Laurie was saying this morning she was going to stay in because her allergies are so bad. So I got my first cardiologist appointment tomorrow. Yay.
Are you just having a checkup or?
Got to figure out why I'm not getting circulation to my fingers and toes and stuff.
he's got to get
So-
regulated?
I think I'm going to go to that cardiologist that has the Roto-Rooter truck outside. They just pump you out or something. Or stick one of those rotary things in your veins and just clean them out or something. I don't know.
I didn't know whether you and Gwen had gotten kind of frisky while you were on vacation and you started passing out.
Oh, no,
Tom.
we don't pass out. Yeah, it may sound like we're passing out, but no,
Oh my
it may sound
God.
like I'm passing out.
Good
So
morning,
you
Jim
got-
and Tara.
You got Lutheran Cell today? Are you gonna go to that?
Yeah, probably. I
Shit mess
got a
of
bunch of
weekend.
packages to get out.
Yeah. I imagine.
I put my store on 4-day shipping,
Mhm.
but one of the deals that I sold closed. It's like before I put 4-day shipping on, the customer
Oh.
had made an offer.
Oh, gotcha.
And then I put 4-day shipping on everything, and then we left, and they finally agreed on a price, and so that reverted back to
Oh.
the 2-day shipping. So I had one with a defect for late shipment. So I'm
Right.
like, yeah, frickin' rack snacking. I actually put the 4-day shipping on early enough for everything else, but
Hmm.
that one snuck in because they started the offer process before. What?
What are you laughing about?
Oh my gosh. Nikki said, someone on Facebook said, I hope Corona passes before ticks come out. Otherwise, we'll have Corona with Lyme.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm sorry, but that was just funny.
that's pretty good.
That's horrible, but it just tickled my
That
funny bone
explains-
there. Oh man.
I think I would rather have a real corona with Lyme rather than coronavirus with Lyme disease. Yuck.
Oh man, that would be. Oof, that'd be awful.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, you see those kind of things, and people start coming up with memes and all this kind of. And sometimes you just gotta laugh.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I would laugh, but my mutual funds are in the tank in the toilet. They
Oh, I
flushed.
bet.
It's
I
probably
bet.
going to get even worse.
Yeah. A
Because
lot of
when
that.
they're
A lot of my
they're
mutual
canceling all
fund is
these
tied to
flights
the Standard and Poor's, which is down, 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 down,
Yeah.
down. Man, it's bad.
I'm still getting my rent money every month. For right now, anyway.
Whew.
That's my stock market. Yeah, Roberta was supposed to go to Denver Springs. Is it Denver Springs? Something like that.
Colorado Springs.
Colorado Springs, thank you. And for a meeting, and they're talking about canceling it.
Uh-huh.
Which her boss told her day before yesterday. He came and sat down on her corner of her desk and said, "Look, if you need, you know what you got to do. If you need to work from home, then work from home." He said, that's not the, that's not for everybody.
Right.
You have a very different situation here. And
Well,
because he was adamant about nobody working from home. And so she felt good about that.
Look at this chart. Oh my
yeah,
God.
that's crazy.
This
Does not look good at all.
is a 1-month chart. It started
Mm.
about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Man. It's bad. Anyway,
Julie says they just closed down Waco Springs at the silos. All the vendors were already there setting up, and then the city revoked their permits. Huh.
Well, we've got NASCAR weeks coming up.
Yeah.
And if that sucker gets hit,
Lutherans
bad.
may shut down their rummage sale.
Do what?
I don't know. I'll go over there this morning, but Lutherans may have shut down the rummage sale for the week. I don't know. We'll see.
Just go over there and get your bra off the rack and put it at your face and walk around.
I know.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's going to be kind of one of those crazy weeks here. Maybe longer than weeks, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that there's going to be a whole lot of stuff closed down, canceled, delayed, all that, because people just are not willing to, put their stuff out there to, I don't know.
Yeah. April 3rd and 4th are supposed to be our big countywide garage sale. They may shut it down. I don't know. Things are weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I actually believe that, but I mean, it definitely could happen. Tom Hanks and his wife, that have it in Australia. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a scare. And then there's a bunch of cases in Houston now.
Yeah.
So they shut down the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. That's
That's big.
That's
Yeah.
big. Because when we drove through Houston yesterday, there were tons of trailers and stuff around that Coliseum where they have it. Like they were getting set up for it, and now it's all shut down. They're just hauled all their crap there. Now they're going to just have to load it up and haul it back out.
Alan said that the NCAA are going to say today if the basketball tournament will be canceled. That is some big bucks there. NCAA was going to be getting hit hard if they cancel that.
Wow.
And that's, the basketball. I don't keep up with it, so.
Morning, Rita.
Texas State basketball championships for high school are still on because town we used to teach at, they hauled their kids off yesterday to go to the playoff. So that hasn't been shut down yet.
Yep.
But last week, Saudi Arabia closed school indefinitely, the whole country.
Indefinitely?
60 million people live in Saudi Arabia, and they just shut down all their schools indefinite. There's no telling. They just, we're shut down. We're not going to reopen until it's done.
Well, I think I said earlier, our school district is working on a contingency plan, as far as kids, doing classes from home.
Yeah.
And of course, that's going to create a problem with parents that work, that's.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, there's only like 20-30% of Texas schools that are set up to do classes from home.
Right.
So that would mean 70% of the kids out of school won't get an education.
It's true.
For the duration.
I don't know. It's getting crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be easier for colleges to go online only because they got the facilities.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. Crazy and unsure world right now.
Sure.
But you know what? It also shows how
Bless you.
easy it is to disrupt everything, the economy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
Education, all of that.
Yep. that is very true.
Sure.
Oh my gosh.
I
Alan
suppose
says, how
fishing
can you
and
teach
picking,
band
you
class
just,
online?
I thought I was gonna be like that this morning because I sneezed like 7 times
Oh my
before
gosh.
like in a row. I was like, oh, please don't tell me how this how my day was gonna go. You just need to get it out. I sneezed hard whenever
Yeah,
I
put-
sneezed.
Sally, put those scissors away before you poke yourself. I kept seeing.
Yeah,
It looks awful.
got one invalid around there already. You don't need two.
Oh my gosh.
You know, back in '95, we went to Australia, and we went to the excuse me, the School of the Air, and that's where they, you know, the kids that live out in the outback, they do their, or at that time, and probably still do, their school. Through, shut up, Valerie. Quit laughing. That's not funny. Doing it through like two-way radios.
Yeah.
And so every morning they played a audio recording back of these children of the teacher taking a roll call. And you know, he'd say Susan Smith, and she'd say here and whatnot. And one little boy answered it. He said, "Did you just get up?" He says, "No, I'm sick." But then there was one little boy who was having a birthday, so he says, "I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3," and everybody push their mic button and start singing "Happy Birthday." So you have like somebody immediately pushed their button and started singing, and then some that waited like four beats, and then they started. So it was funny, but it was cute. And then when they got up to middle school, then they went up. Either middle school or high school, they went off to boarding school.
Yeah, that's where Tom Hanks is at.
Yeah.
That's in Australia.
I know our cousin used to work over there for a while.
Which cousin?
Larry
Oh,
worked over there for I can't remember what kind of a company. I want to say it was like a cattle company or something, but could be wrong. Valerie, you ever get over being the older sister, the protector? No, that's my job. That is, yeah.
but
Oh my gosh, scared me when it popped up there. Like, what
Nope.
the heck is going on?
You know, but when she was like, you know, 13, 15, like up until she got married, I worried about her more than she worried about herself. I think she would always, she'd be talking to somebody else. She never talked to me. She would never talk to me, but like I would be in her room and she'd be talking to my cousin or something. My cousin would, well, we had a couple of different cousins that would always stay, but there was one cousin that lived with us a lot, and she'd be talking to my cousin and I'd be listening, you know, what you guys were talking about, and I would be like so scared. Oh my God, if they do this, they're gonna get in so much trouble. And I would just always be worried for Valerie and my cousin because I thought they were just gonna get in the most trouble. Oh man, she's gonna get her butt beat by Dad now.
So let me ask a question. Do y'all think that online sales will go up because of Corona or down?
There's no way of knowing, because there's going to be more people staying at home now to work or whatever. And, you know, maybe not get out as much. You never know how it's going to go.
I'm guessing that the sales are going to go up.
I'm hoping.
But they're not going to go up. You still have to do your job as far as
Listing, yeah.
listing and, putting promoted sales, doing, putting put stuff on sale. You got to do your part. It's not just going to happen.
Bishop Pickens says, "Can someone report Tom to the health department so he can be quarantined for 30 days?" He
Ha,
got,
ha, ha.
he got something. He got a bug up his nose, I think.
Uh-huh.
Rita, I'm cutting the those yellow dividers. I had like 4 or 5 packages of those things, and I'm still working on my inventory, and I ran out of 3x5 cards. And so I cut them into strips, and now I'm cutting them into blocks so that I can have them for my inventory cards.
Yeah, that's good.
So as long as they're like a sturdy paper, it'll work.
Yep.
So I'd rather get something that I already have. Like I had a bunch of them.
Yep.
And I'd rather have use something that I already have instead of go buy 3x5 cards or whatever and cut them, because I usually cut those in half too, because I don't need the whole card.
Right.
So yeah, I try to think about stuff like that, because like even even I had an idea as far as like how you see on Valerie's shelves right there, she has like the rope or yeah, or she uses like what are they called, bungee cords or whatever.
Somewhere over there.
Yeah, bungee
And-
cord.
Yeah. And I thought about that, and I'm like, I think I have bungee cords out in the garage, but I don't want to go in the garage yet. So I was like, I have a ton of freaking eBay tape.
Well,
So why not use eBay tape? So I did that basically with eBay tape. I double-sided it. So like this bar I went around twice so that it wouldn't stick to my packaging.
right.
Um
That was smart. That was totally smart.
and so I have that on all the bars. Like some of it we went all the way around and then went all the way around on the inside, and then stuck them together
Yeah.
so that they wouldn't stick to my packages.
Yeah.
And so I have it. It's probably about that high from the bottom of the shelf on all the shelves. So yeah, but you just have to, Rita, you just have to do what works for you. And if something isn't working, then you figure out something else to do.
Right.
But I would definitely rather use, that's why I keep stuff, is because like I feel like I can use it if something like that comes up, then I can have things to use. I have like a ton of freaking coffee cans. I don't know what I'll use them for, because I use them for my jewelry,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a lot more. So I'm not sure what I'm going to use them for yet, but I will figure out something.
Oh my God, this is just allergies, people. I've lived with allergies all my life.
I know, me too.
I might have missed an answer up here. Did Bumcrack answer any question? Answer the question about were they being impacted by the coronavirus over there? Which Harry and Meghan is over there right now, so nobody's worried about anything else except what Harry and Meghan's doing. But
am I in Top Chat again?
I didn't know whether they were being impacted by
Where-
so much. Sally, you mentioned the eBay tape. One of my neighbors was supposed to go to England on business, and he's flying into Heathrow, and he hates flying into Heathrow because he always loses luggage or he can't ever find it. He came by here and he said, "Can I have a roll of your eBay tape?" And I said, "For what?" He said, "I'm gonna wrap that bitch around my my luggage. I'll be able to see it from wherever I'm at. I said, sure, get you a roll. But gave him a roll, and then he brought it back and said, it's been my trip's been canceled.
Todd, did you see Mike's message?
What?
He says, I really expected gold and silver to be trending up by now. Ain't happening yet. What is the deal, Todd?
That's a good question.
Do you think it'll
Gold
go
and
up?
silver are going down too, not at the rate that the stock market's going down, but
Are they?
Do you think it's because people know that the stock market will rebound because this is just being affected by this virus right at the moment, and it will rebound?
Probably. I mean, there's a ton of money just moving into banks and just sitting now, not being invested into anything. So
Yeah.
certain times gold and silver follow along with the stock market is all I can guess. The people are just hoarding cash for a while instead of
Mm.
Things are bad all over is all I can say. Yep.
I read somewhere that France was one of the hardest hit countries so far as how many people, besides China, of course.
I've heard that Italy was hit hard.
Yeah.
Has been hit hard.
Who knows?
But based on our population, I was listening to this thing on the news last night. And they were talking about based on our population and the number of cases that's been, confirmed. It's not even on the scale. But whereas these smaller countries with smaller populations, they have the same amount of numbers, and it looks a lot worse for them.
Yeah. Wow, Shirley, so you have two younger brothers that are your adopted brothers. I'm sure you don't look at it that way. You just look at them as brothers, but and then the 5 biologically. I don't know if I've ever known anybody that, well, maybe they didn't know that they were adopted, but they were adopted. I don't know anybody personally that has ever been adopted.
That was one of the things that we were asked when we adopted the boys was, are you going to tell them they were adopted? Okay, they have an international birth certificate that says they were born in Russia
Yeah.
and Ukraine. Why were we born in Russia and Ukraine? Were you doing work over there? But they've always known, and we've always made it out to be like, that's just the way you came into our family,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't see it being a bad thing. When I was growing up, there was always TV shows and stuff that would always kind of make light of it, or that be one of the situations that people had to deal with.
Right.
And it was always a thing of, if you kept it from them, then it becomes a big thing.
Yeah.
Like if you talk to your kids and stuff while they're growing up and let them know what's going on with them, or maybe you don't have your the same colored hair as your mom and dad, you know, and this is the reason why, you know, you came to us after you were born.
I went to school with a guy and we're still close. We talk quite a bit. His older sister and he were both adopted. And his older sister came home from school one day and said the other kids were making fun of her because she was adopted. And her mom said, "Will you just tell them, out of all the kids in this world, we chose you. Their mom and dad just got what they got."
Hmm.
They didn't have a choice.
She got us she got us called the next day from the principal asking her to come by there. Apparently Lynn had made all these little kids cry because they're like, first of all, she had the attitude to make it work. Your mom and dad got you. My mom and dad picked me. You know, made all these little elementary kids cry.
All right, I'm gonna go do battle.
All
Okay,
right.
Get good
Unless
stuff.
they're shut down.
take
for
your
the weekend.
mask.
Okay.
Really?
I'm not near as afraid of corona as I am old age wheezing.
Yeah,
Place.
I'd agree.
He's
I
a
mean,
lot more afraid of when them little old ladies coming across that counter at him.
yeah, it's pretty sad when you go shopping at my age and everybody there is older than me. All right,
Have
if y'all
fun.
are still
Yeah.
Have
on.
fun, behave.
I mean, they may be shut down. I may come right straight back. So
Okay.
You don't have a phone number to call?
nah, I'll just go over there. It's only a couple of blocks.
I'm surprised though. Well, I'm not surprised, but I'm surprised that they're shutting stuff down so early now. You know, because of groups and whatnot. But I guess that's the best way to get it under control.
Everybody's just trying to be, you know, I guess conservative, you know, and I don't know.
Proactive.
So get your listings up, because I have a feeling that this weekend's going to be a big one.
I need it to be.
People aren't going to have stuff to do, so everything's going to be canceled. So everybody's going to be home. They're going to be on their iPads. They're going to be, you know, they got all this tax money in their bank. It's going to be burning a hole in their pocket. So get your stuff listed.
Gonna be looking for toilet paper. Toilet paper.
Toilet paper, yeah.
Turlet.
Yeah, that toilet paper.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Oh, there's been 387 confirmed cases in the UK, 6 deaths.
I had to go to Walmart yesterday and there was no shortage of stuff on the shelf or people.
Hey, Sasha,
There was a ton of people there.
did y'all have toilet paper on the shelves yesterday? No toilet paper. That was at Sam's Club.
Oh my gosh.
I don't understand it.
Updated the list of banned and blocked items.
Bob Craig says he's got a new toaster and 2 loaves, so he's good for toasties.
Good job. That way you got something to eat. Get your eggs, milk, and bread. Make sure you're all stocked up for the weekend. As long as people have already went grocery shopping and got supplies, toilet paper is high on eBay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised that they haven't snatched all the toilet paper listings off the air or offline.
I don't know. That's just crazy.
Because that's called, what's that called? Where you jack the prices up because
price gouging.
Yeah.
Buy when you can't control much else. Hudson Oaks outside of Weatherford, Texas, has had their shelves wiped clean.
Hmm.
That's crazy. Crazy.
Um,
I don't know. Oh, and Friday the 13th tomorrow. The people definitely aren't going to be leaving the house.
Mm.
Take
Well, I don't really
advantage
believe-
of it.
I don't really believe in that Friday the 13th thing.
A lot of people do, though.
Oh, I know. A
A
lot
lot
of
of
them do.
people are sticklers on it, and they don't want to go nowhere. They don't want to do nothing. A lot
'Cause-
of people are just weird.
Oh my God, today's Thursday the 12th. You know?
Oh my
Yeah, but that's how a lot of people see that. Like,
Yeah.
if I get coronavirus, it's gonna be today. That's how people see it.
Yep. It's raining here today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got rain.
Yeah.
I think this weekend is supposed to snow. They're saying 1 to 3
Mm.
inches this weekend. So
Nikki says, "Well, you all are clothing sellers, so if you run out, you can cut your unsold clothes if need."
oh yeah. Yep.
Well, I'm assuming, and you know what that means, that people are looking at this could be a stretched out situation, and so there could be things could be short and some short supply, because I haven't heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, where like diarrhea has been an issue with this.
No. It's more, as far as I have seen, it's mainly respiratory.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I've got about 40 boxes of these, so we're good. Mind you, you don't want to throw it in your trash and run it down your toilet, though. Rita's going thrifting tomorrow. Screw it.
Good for you. Good for you. I mean, it's your last day of, well, it's not your last day of vacation, but technically it's your last day of vacation. So, heck yeah, get out there. Live high on the hog.
Might be a good day, time to start going to the bins.
Maybe where she's going.
Just put your gloves on, your mask, and take your hand cleaner.
You know, I will say, like, it's really hard to do, like a lot of people do gloves at the bins. I can't do gloves at the bins. It really hinders me a lot because I can't feel the clothing and, yeah. So I don't usually do that. I mean, I will definitely wash my hands and use sanitizer if need be, but
Hmm.
I do not do gloves.
Yeah, it's
and
like
I've
when I'm cleaning out storage units. Everybody's screaming, "You need to use gloves. You need to use gloves." I don't. It's hard to manage this stuff, and picking it up and seeing what,
Yeah.
feeling it, like you said, and
Yep.
unless you buy really expensive, work gloves that fit real snug with your hand, because the plastic, like the medical gloves, just don't work.
Mm.
Oh Lord. Tara says there are people on my local marketplace auctioning TP starting at $25 a roll.
People are going a little bit crazy over that, I
Yeah.
would say. But I don't know.
Shoot, if you got the money, go out and buy some damn toilet paper and just mark it up 10% and make them pay for the shipping, and you probably couldn't keep it in stock if the way people are jacking the prices up.
That's kind of like buying a bag of Cheetos and trying to find a ape in there or something. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, at least with toilet paper, you will use it eventually.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, Nikki was eating unwashed grapes last night. God only knows what she's going to end up with, since she's so sickly anyway.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna regret that one.
It's going to be okay.
Everything's gonna be fine. We've been through this before.
I'm an optimistic. It's everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Roberta says, everything is not always going to be okay. Yes, it is. Okay. It's all going to come out in the wash.
That's right. Wow. Rita says there was a guy at the swap meet selling gloves for $2. 2 boxes for $25.
Is that like the surgical gloves?
Must be. Man.
Well, see, I wouldn't know whether that's a good deal or not, because
No,
I
it's
don't
not.
buy surgical gloves.
They're not cheap, but I would say they're probably around $20. They're probably about $10 a box, maybe a little bit more. But who knows? He may have bought a case of them and got a good deal on them.
Tara says, I think Facebook is pulling some of those kind of ads down too. There was someone with a case of Purell for $2,000 or trade for a truck.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's what I posted on Facebook yesterday. I have a 48 pack, a 48 roll pack of toilet paper and two bottles of Purell, and I'll swap for a beach house.
Good job, Joanna.
Yeah. Hey,
That's
hey,
great.
Patty.
Hello, Patty. Tom Princess Cruises suspended all their trips for 60 days now.
Yeah, I heard about that last night or this morning, whenever it came. It was this morning when I looked at it online.
That's crazy.
Lord, you can, and we would, if Roberta wasn't, her ability to fight off viruses and stuff wasn't so low. We could sail out of Charleston on a 4-day cruise for like $189.
Yeah.
Yep, the
we would
Lutheran
get-
shut down for 2 weeks.
Are you already
Really?
back?
Yeah, the Lutheran shut
Wow.
down for
Ah.
coronavirus.
Wow.
What will
That's
these old
sad.
ladies do?
I don't know.
Wow.
Sit at home and knit.
Did you call them, or did you already go down there and back?
No, I went over there and read their little sign they had out front. Said, we're closed for the next 2 weeks
Huh.
because of a CDC recommendation.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, I'll tell you
It's
what,
hitting-
these people that,
It's hitting pretty local now.
Yeah.
the Instacart people,
Hmm.
they might be getting ready to get real busy.
Well, that's true. They may be a busy weekend for them.
I mean,
Yeah, thanks for reminding me, Hank. Now I can list all my piles I've got piled up instead of
Mhm.
shopping for more stuff.
You're not going to be
Yeah.
able to pile anything up on top of them.
God, Hank is like a wife. She
I know.
just, she just nags at you.
She don't know. I could probably go 6 months and not buy anything and still have stuff to list.
Me too.
Oh, Nikki says she's busy as hell on Instacart.
Good. Make that money, girlfriend.
That's right. It's a good weekend for that.
Maybe they'll give you some good tips too since they don't have to get out and.
I don't see how that helps though, because the person who goes and does the shopping is exposed to whatever, and then they bring the stuff to you.
Well, if you're cutting down the number of people that's in the store, I mean,
guess.
I would think that like Walmart in there where they pull all your groceries for you and you just pick them up. I would think that would be real big popular thing for them.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Food Lion and Harris Teeter, and I don't know whether Publix does it or not, but I know Harris Teeter and Food Lion does the same thing where they'll pull you orders and just have them wait. And
Get the milk and bread.
Shirley says, "Is the sky falling?"
It is around here already, I guess.
well, you know, it's not. It's just like cascade failure. One thing causes something else to happen.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You know, I mean,
It's a temporary thing. I believe that, you know, this will go on for maybe a week, and then we'll be on something else next week. So don't freak out yet.
well, you know, everything was about politics. Well, the politics is probably kind of settled down now for a couple of months, and then it'll get fired back up.
Hmm.
So they got to have the media's got to have something to hammer at you with until that starts back up.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought you had told me that one time before, Nikki, that Instacart you just can leave them at the door.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I was ordering through Instacart, I would I'd probably rather have it that way because I'm not coming into contact with people I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah, but you'd still have to wipe down everything that you receive.
Yeah, and I still have to take a breath and wipe my butt and wash my face. You know, it's just one of the things you got to do.
Yep.
I mean, you know. So some people are going, like the Instacart people, are probably going to make some good jack.
Yep.
And the stockbrokers on Wall Street will be throwing themselves out the windows, you know, anytime now.
Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Yeah. That to me, that's scary
Yeah.
as far as the stock market goes, because people get crazy over stuff like that. I mean, if they're not crazy enough by, you know, listening to the media, then that just pushes them over the edge.
You know, I'm not, okay, my opinion, the stock market is a Ponzi scheme. Everything is implied value. But this time, things are happening to certain markets like the travel industry, the airlines, you know, sports, all of that's taking a hitting.
Yeah.
And you're seeing their revenue streams going down the tubes.
Yep. Texas Fowl Home Depot delivery guy put his hand out yesterday to shake my hand, and I was like, oh dang. I shook his hand and went and washed my hands. I used to not think of anything of shaking someone's hand. Yeah, I totally agree. You gotta be kind of careful. And if you do shake somebody's hand, go wash your hands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's kind of, you know, the way you got to think these days.
Yeah.
When you wouldn't think of it, you know, anything like that.
We knew what you were talking about, Val.
Yeah, I translated.
Well, if you think about it, there's no telling how many people we were around at Galveston, restaurants and beaches and all sorts of places, you know.
Oh my
Fish and
God.
Pickens, Alan said, WTF, my bank emailed me saying I can only withdraw 100 daily from this ATM now.
Wow.
That's weird.
Alan, is that Wells Fargo? I'm not going to ask you what your bank is. I'm just going to ask you if it's Wells Fargo.
Are the banks afraid of
Yeah,
the
everybody's
run on the bank?
Yep. So they got to put those restrictions down. Joanna says it's scary. I have to pack my husband a 3-week emergency suitcase in case he gets quarantined at work. Well, if they're that worried about it, then they probably just need to shut down. Oh, I know, Hank. I know. I understand. Texas Val says you were around people that got off the cruise ship in Galveston, Todd.
I would think if I was Todd, I'd be more concerned about the non-cruise ships that people were getting off of around, off of the freighters and things like that, where their health habits might not be up to the same level as cruise ship
Yeah.
staff, because you got to think about this. Cruise ships, they've got to have good hygiene. The staff, they've got to wash, they've got to clean up.
Hank says, but nobody listens to me, so I ain't gonna worry about it.
You damn right,
Shush.
Hank.
I read it.
I know what you meant.
Oh my gosh. Well, I guess we're gonna, even though we got a late start, I think we're just gonna go ahead and wrap it up for the day.
Before
Good
you shut it
topic.
down, Joanna, is that like Reynolds aluminum foil?
I can't remember what she said that they made.
She says to shut these Reynolds plants down.
Ziploc bags and stuff.
Okay.
Make sure you thumbs up.
I
Yeah.
hope
Show
everybody has a
show
great
the old
day.
girl some love.
Everybody have a great day, and
Hell yeah, there's only 5 thumbs up.
we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Stay
Hopefully-
safe. Get
Hopefully
your
it'll be
TP.
on time. Love you
Work
guys.
hard.
Thanks everybody that came on the panel. Appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow. Good sales.
Bye.
List. List.